And good Sunday afternoon, everybody. Welcome back here to Behind the Arc Basketball today as we got a great matchup in store. The 1 p.m. Eastern time slot for this one, the number 10 ranked Kentucky Wildcats taking on the Richmond Spiders, who are picked to finish first this season in the Atlantic 10 Conference. Should be a great showdown with these two teams going down as part of the Bluegrass Showcase today in this one over at Rupp Arena, home of the Kentucky Wildcats. Really appreciate you guys for stopping on by for this game, as I'll be covering play-by-play of this one today on the channel. Let's take a look at the chat right now. Ian, what's good here, man, for stopping by. Cole, Grant, Ant, welcome in here. My man Vegas, Brayton, part of the Mod Squad. They're back here as well. Margaret, welcome in here, going for Kentucky. Hit me up with who you got down the chat below. Type in BBN if you're going for Kentucky in this one. Type in Richmond if you're going out for the Spiders. Brian Daniels, what's good, man? I call play-by-play of the game, so it's going to sound like the radio call out here for you guys today. It's going to be an awesome matchup between these two teams as we welcome in Jose here. Jack, glad to have you on the channel. Random comments, glad to have you back here. Both of these teams took on the same opponent, Morehead State, back on opening night on Wednesday. Kentucky got the victory, 81-45 the final score. Brandon Boston, great opening night debut. He had 15 points in that one. Terrence Clark had 12 points. And Devin Askew had 12 as well. Just loaded here. Number 1 recruiting class, all college basketball for Kentucky. Dino, welcome on board, man. Hope all is well. And here he's ready for Kentucky Nation in this one, but absolutely stacked lineup here with the recruits that they had coming in. The 2 5-stars, Brandon Boston, Terrence Clark for Kentucky, and then the 4 stars, Cameron Fletcher, Isaiah Jackson, Lance Ware, Devin Askew. Got a huge pickup transfer in the offseason with Olivier Sarr, the big man for Wake Forest, as they were in desperate need of a big man, and they got a good one for Wake Forest. For Richmond, this team is dangerous here. They returned 5 seniors that were, 5 juniors last year, now seniors, all part of the starting 5. 4 of these players will play today, as 4 of these players are starters. They suffered a major blow in the preseason, though, a couple weeks leading to the tip-off of their season, is that their starting senior guard, Nick Sherrod, he tore his ACL in the preseason, as Sherrod led the Atlantic 10 Conference last season, 3-point shooting percentage, 43.8%, and he has been ruled out for the remainder of the season. So massive loss there for Richmond, as they were struggling from firepower from behind 3-point arc in their first game against Morehead State, but they still got the victory. Same team Kentucky played. Richmond beat Morehead State 82-64, whereas Kentucky beat Morehead State 81-45. And leading the score, Nathan Ko. He was a perfect 10 for 10, shooting the ball for Richmond. Grant Golden had 16 points. He's the player to watch out for the Spiders for this one, for their big man on the court for Grant Golden in this game. And then Jacob Gilliard, leading ball stealer last season, all college basketball, led the NCAA in steals. And Jacob Gilliard, he had 3 steals in the first game here against Morehead State, along with 13 points. Hey, what's good, Landon? Appreciate the man for stopping on by once again. He's excited here for Big Blue Nation out in this one. Brody, welcome on board here as well, going out for Kentucky. Evan Gahenda, welcome on the channel here. Game number 1 out of a doubleheader I'll be calling today. Also, we'll be covering Texas Tech against Houston a little bit later today in the afternoon at 5:30 Eastern. That should be a really good game with 2 great backcourts there. Mac McClung of Texas Tech going up against Caleb Mills, Marcus Sasser, Quentin Grimes of Houston in the later game today. Quick scoreboard update for everybody in case you missed out on yesterday's action. Virginia Tech, all they have to do is win today against South Florida. They'll be ranked in the top 25. Virginia knocking down number 3 Villanova in overtime last night, 81-73 the final. Number 2 Baylor taking care of Louisiana, 112-82. And number 13 Michigan State topped off Notre Dame, 80-70. As we're going to tip off this game right now, Kentucky, white uniforms for this one, going right to left in the court. Richmond in the red jerseys, and the Spiders control the tip. Richmond now with the basketball first as we just started. Gilliard bounce past the left wing perimeter. Now at the top of the key here into the hands of Blake Francis for the Spiders. Richmond has 4 seniors inside the starting 5. It's going to be experience versus talent here with a young talent that Kentucky has. Driving inside, they're going to put it up. It's good off the glass for 2 by Grant Golden. So that was the question heading into this one, is Grant Golden with his production in this game going up into the post against Kentucky's defense. Kentucky had a great defense in that first game against Morehead State. First possession here, Kentucky now with the ball. Looks like quick foul away from the basketball as the clock will stop. 19:20 remaining. It's on Richmond. Hey, what's good, Corey? Appreciate it, man, for stopping by. He's going out for Kentucky in this one. My man Bradley, welcome back on the channel, bud. If you guys are new, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that sub, ring that notification bell as well as I cover play-by-play basketball. Askew, bounce past the right elbow, takes the jumper by Kentucky, and they knock it down for two there as the Wildcats tie it up. 2-2 even as we just tipped this one off 1 minute through the game as we welcome in Vaughn out on the channel right now. Richmond has it with Golden right baseline. Moves it back to the top of the key. They're going to jack up a three. It's up, hit the rim short, no good. And Terrence Clark comes up with the board for Kentucky. Full court outlet pass to the right baseline. Going to take the jumper. That's off the mark, no good. Kentucky goes up for the rebound, and they get fouled from behind. Clock will stop with 18:44. Gahenda here going out for the KFC for Kentucky out in this game. It's going to be two free throws coming up here at the line by Kentucky. So they're going to get their big man some free throws here. Olivier Sarr shooting two at the line. First shot, no good, off the mark by Sarr. Alex Dutu, welcome in here. Is praying out for Kentucky in this one. We welcome in Vaughn out onto the channel here. Second free throw coming up by Sarr at the line. And that one's no good either. Missed off the back rim and rebound by Golden here at Richmond. Spiders now with the basketball. 18:35 left to go. First half. Richmond at the left wing perimeter. Blake Francis moves it over to Golden at the top. Pass over to the right corner. Tyler Burton moves it over to the top here with Francis. Back over to Gilliard here. Moves it over to Golden as he is guarded by Sarr. And Golden's going to bounce pass over to Gilliard. Dash over into the paint right there. They couldn't get it, but they're going to get the rebound inside, and they put it up and in. Second chance points good by Richmond inside the post. 4-2 now the score. Askew at the left wing for Kentucky has the basketball. Moves over to Fletcher. Fletcher pass over to the top here once again to Boston. And there's going to be a ball gets tapped out of bounds there. Clock will stop with 17:59. It's tapped out of bounds by Richmond. And Kentucky will have the basketball back. Let's see, upset alert. I think there's a game currently in progress right now. 33-33. Ohio State tied with UMass Lowell at halftime. So UMass Lowell trying to pull off another upset as that's a pass right inside. Throwing it down Olivier Sarr with a two-handed flush. We're tied up at 4. 17:40 left to go first half. Vaughn's taking Richmond in this one. He thinks that's going to get the W. My prediction for this game is Kentucky in this one. Should be a good one, though. Hit the front rim on the floater, no good. And Richmond failed to get back defensively. Kentucky, another throw down right there with a two-handed flush as that goes down by B.J. Boston. The Wildcats capture the lead. 6-4 to score. 17:20 left to go here in the first half. Richmond now with the basketball. Moves over to the left corner. Left baseline dribble. Guarded by Fletcher. Inside underneath. And that's going to be a bucket. Nathan Kale to the hole right there, as he got it a fall. That will count, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Hey, what's good here? Welcome in from Turkey. Con KO, welcome on the channel here. Appreciate it for stopping on by. Evan predicts for this one, 78 Kentucky, 65 Richmond for his prediction. My man Vegas, welcome in, man. Glad to have you in the channel, brother. Free throw here at the line. One shot, Richmond makes it down. They take the lead. So my prediction in this game, I have Kentucky 72, Richmond 66 in this one. Kentucky now with the basketball. Fletcher, left elbow, moves it out over to Askew. Passes back out on top now, as Kentucky's going to take it to the hole. Floats it up. It's good for 2. B.J. Boston gets another bucket right there for Kentucky. He is looking good so far. He has got 4 points, and Sarr's got 4 so far. 16:45 left to go in the first half. Back and forth. It's been a good one. Spiders with the ball, takes a deep 3 right there. They didn't do too much passing with it. It's off the mark, no good. Kentucky now with the basketball. Driving inside to the bucket, missed it though. Just too strong off the backboard. Rebound Richmond. Spiders pass half court. Gilliard bounce pass now. They're going to take the deep 2 jumper. Golden off the mark, no good. As they're just not attacking the bucket for Richmond, and Kentucky comes up with the rebound. They pass over to the left wing. Boston now with the ball. Moves it over to the left baseline. Starr takes the jumper. It's up. No good off the back rim. And Richmond comes up with another board. 16 minutes as we have it right now. First half in this one. If you guys are new in the channel, spike that thumbs up. Hit that like. Hit that sub. Ring that notification bell as well as I cover play-by-play here in Behind the Arc Basketball. Golden backs his way in there, moves it over to the free throw circle as Richmond's going to take the jumper. Burton no good off the mark, and both these teams past couple possessions settling for deep 2 jumpers, and they are cold on both of them. Kentucky has it, floats it up, no good. Fight for the rebound, gets tapped out of bounds, and the refs are going to say it's out of bounds by Kentucky. Brandon Boston tried to go up for it, and Richmond, good defense there going up for the board, and we're going to go on a timeout here. So 8-7 so far to score this one. Great competitive game so far between these two teams. It was heating up early, a lot of back and forth, but now recently both of these teams cold as far as shooting. What's good, Rob Stone? Appreciate it, man. Rob Sloan, welcome to the channel, man. Appreciate it for stopping on by. Gahenda here predicts Kentucky by 4 in this one, 90-86. Yeah, they're settling for deep jumpers so far in this game for Richmond. So they just haven't been able to attack so far in this game. They were picked to finish first in the Atlantic 10. I'm more sold on St. Louis to get to top the Atlantic 10 this season, finish first. St. Louis looks dangerous. They have multiple big men on the team there for St. Louis. I love to see a matchup. St. Louis against West Virginia, 2 heavyweights like that. That would be a great battle. What's good, my man Jason? Appreciate it, brother, for stopping on by. I plan on doing both of the Champions Classic games on Tuesday. So Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, Michigan State. Both of those games I plan on doing on Tuesday. I plan on streaming tomorrow, but tomorrow we're supposed to get a big storm, so I might lose power. So hopefully I'll be able to stream tomorrow. Lit Savage, welcome on board. I can't show the actual screen due to copyright violations, so it's only play-by-play only. Welcome in, Ronnie. Appreciate the man for stopping on by. He likes Kentucky by 12 in this one for his prediction. We'll keep you guys posted as far as other games going on. Upset alert going down. Game's tied up at halftime. UMass Lowell, Ohio State. That game actually started off with the second half now. And that game's tied up at 36. So UMass Lowell giving Ohio State problems. And that ain't looking so good here. So if Richmond pulls this off, they would be in the top 25 for Richmond. If they do win this game here, if they lose, they'd be outside the top 25. Looking at this week's new top 25, Virginia Tech definitely deserves to be ranked after yesterday's victory against Villanova. And also, right now, San Diego State, I expect to replace Arizona State. Now, those are the two right now, of course. Ohio State could be a third team if they do suffer a loss and drop out. That would mean another team would have to replace them. If Richmond loses this game, I see St. Louis being the next team in the top 25. As I see St. Louis at number 26. They beat LSU yesterday by 4. Hey, what's good, Dakota? Appreciate the man for stopping on by. That's awesome. You got a nice fresh cut. That's great, man. Daniel, welcome on the channel, man. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, Villanova's been off to a slow start so far. I'm just not sold on Virginia Tech this year. I think I predicted them to finish 13th in the ACC. That's a really young team. And that's more like a shocking win to them. I don't think they're going to be a top 25 team just for this week, but not like a consistent top 25 team. They have a really young team for Virginia Tech. That's just Villanova once again to another slow start. 2 years ago, they lost to Furman, and then it was Michigan State last year lost to Virginia Tech back in November. So teams are just cursed against Virginia Tech when they take them on in November, and then Virginia Tech might be back to like their usual last season form once they get into conference play. Appreciate it here, Eric. Thanks so much, man, for stopping on by, bud. You guys are awesome for being a part of the channel. Yes, I plan on covering Texas Tech against Houston. That should be a great game later today. Yeah, UMass Lowell and Ohio State. That game's tied up right now in the second half. as we're back into action. UMass Lowell, by the way, beat San Francisco back on Wednesday. As Richmond had the ball, the shot got blocked inside. Kentucky now with the basketball up by 1. They have it top of the key, Askew. With the ball here at the edge of the Kentucky logo, dribbles towards the right wing, guarded by Gilliard. Moves it over to the top of the free throw circle, over to Jackson, who passed over left corner, went out of bounds though, as Jackson just airmailed that pass out of bounds, and Richmond will have it right back. I appreciate it, Rob. Glad that you enjoyed the stream, man. If you guys are new in the channel, over 30 people watching now, spike that thumbs up. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. It goes a long way here if you like to be notified about future live streams here on Behind the Arc Basketball. I cover college games and also NBA games as well. Richmond takes a 3, and they are just too powerful in their three-point shots. That one's off the back iron and out. Rebound Kentucky. Basketball here for the Wildcats to the left elbow. Moves it over to Askew, pass over to the left corner, takes the 3. It's no good off the mark by Davion Mintz, and the ball gets tapped out of bounds again. It's out of bounds by Kentucky by Mintz. He tapped it out of bounds to the left corner. So Richmond will have the ball right back again. 14:41 left to go. Leading scorer so far in this one, Brandon Boston. He's got 4 points for Richmond, leading the way. Nathan Kao with 5. Hey, thanks so much, Eric. Appreciate it, bud. Roger, welcome on board, man. Hope all is well. Yeah, really slow start in this game today. I thought yesterday's game, if you guys were in that stream for Rhode Island against South Florida, that was so slow. But that game picked up in the second half. A lot of these games recently have picked up in the second half. Richmond now with the basketball, pass over to the top of the key. Moves over to the right elbow. They're going to take the jumper now and able to get some space there. That is Nathan Kao. He hits it down for Richmond. So they got 4 seniors inside the starting 5 for the Spiders. So this is experience going up against young talent here at Kentucky. 2 possible lottery picks they have for the 2021 NBA draft, Brandon Boston and Terrence Clark. As Olivier Sarda, experienced big men with the ball, and he's going to go inside and he tears it down with a 2-handed flush. Great transfer pickup in the offseason for Wake Forest, and they needed a big man, and they got a good one. Richmond now with the basketball at the left baseline. They put up the jumper, no good, too wide. Rebound Kentucky, pushing tempo, 3-on-2. Pass underneath. They bounce past it right back out left baseline. Dribble zone, nice dish underneath. Couldn't finish with a slam dunk, but he gets fouled. And the Wildcats with Isaiah Jackson going to go shoot 2 at the free throw line. Really appreciate it, Eric. This is the first time downloading. Follow me. Thanks so much, man. Who do I think's going to win here? I predicted Kentucky in this game. So my prediction was Kentucky here was, let's see here. I get it up. Been predicting a lot of games recently. I think it was by 6. First free throw, that is no good off the back rim by Isaiah Jackson. 72-66 was my prediction. Second free throw knocks it down. 11-9 to score. Any names for any computer systems could use to crunch numbers? Ooh. I'm not entirely sure what could be used to crunch numbers. Interesting, though. But what I use for my software here is called OBS for my software. So that's what I use. Georgia Tech, yeah, they are looking so bad right now. They lost to Mercer. And that team's full of upperclassmen, juniors and seniors. I'm really shocked by like how bad they performed so far. Richmond with the basketball as they went inside and they got fouled. So Grant Golden, the team's big man, going to go to the free throw line. He's going to shoot 2 shots. That's the second personal by Kentucky as a team today in the first half. 1 by Terrence Clark and 1 by Lance Ware. First free throw goes down at the line by Richmond. 1-point game. Second free throw by Golden. That one, he knocks it down. Thoughts on Iowa this year? They look so good. It's they got an offense for sure. They just need like more players other than Luka Garza to have like big games. Defensively, there's question marks. That's the only thing as far as their defense. And we'll see throughout the season if they have improved their defense or if it's the same defense as last year. But their offense is just so explosive. Tie game up at 11. Kentucky now with the ball. at the right baseline as they're going to back their way in there. Moves it out to the top, takes the three. Kentucky hit the front rim, missed, and it's going to get rebound by Richmond here. Richmond in transition with the basketball. Pass out left corner. Three-point shot, no good. Rebound back to Kentucky. A lot of misses in this game so far. Looks like a foul picked up as well on the rebound, and it's on Kentucky. So it's gonna go Richmond basketball here as the clock will stop with 12:48. Hey, what's good, Jackson? Welcome on the channel once again. Yeah, Villanova lost to Virginia Tech yesterday. Lance Ware, number 55, picked up the personal, and he heads to the bench. Richmond will inbound coming up underneath their hoop. They pass it to the right wing perimeter. Spiders moves over to Golden, top of the key. Passes over to the right wing to Francis. Francis now creates separation, takes the three, and he's going to get knocked down. That's going to be 3 shots coming up by Blake Francis. Do I think Richmond's good? I predicted that they would go second in the Atlantic 10, so I think that they're like borderline top 25 for Richmond. They got experience on their team. I just like St. Louis this year over Richmond. St. Louis is they have such a deep team. What time is it in Mass right now? It's 1:20 p.m. First free throw at the line, Blake Francis knocks it down. So this is a good team with Richmond. They got so much experience on their team. They'd be even deeper if they had Nick Sherrod healthy this year. Second free throw knocks it down. Yeah, I was shocked, Matt, with that game that Illinois played Ohio that close. I was really shocked by that. 2 impressive wins for Illinois, and then that came down to the wire. So they make all 3 at the free throw line by Richmond. Kentucky now with the basketball. By the way, Illinois, crazy stat line here. Illinois is a plus 109 in rebound margin through their first 3 games. It's insane. Absolutely insane for what Illinois has put up there. As they're almost averaging 60 rebounds, just below 60 rebounds per game. It's that crazy, like how much they have rebounded the basketball. 12.5 left to go first half. Kentucky now with the ball. Thanks so much, Jackson. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, URI finally got a win. Might be the best 1 and 2 team in college basketball right now for URI. 12:10 left to go in the first half. Kentucky missed the turnaround jumper. Richmond going to have the basketball back. We're going to give you guys, I'm going to dig in and see the scoreboard update. Ohio State in a little bit against UMass Lowell. So I'm interested to know that. As Richmond went to the cup, no good. Missed the layup. Kentucky with the ball. They got stripped of it and stolen away right there by Blake Francis. This team is scrappy. They can steal the ball for Richmond as they drove inside. No good. Too high off the glass, and Kentucky now has it back. At the left wing with it. Boston drives right inside and puts it up and in, and Kentucky finally is able to get a basket there. It's been quite some time. 11.5 left to go. BJ Boston, as he has got 6 points so far in this game. The leading scorer for Kentucky. Tied with Sarr, actually. Richmond underneath. Golden double teamed. Gonna pass the ball out, and the ball gets tapped out of bounds by Kentucky. Great defensive effort right there by Cameron Fletcher. But he last touched the basketball. Clock will stop with 11:23. So scoreboard update here. 13 minutes remain in that UMass Lowell Ohio State game, and UMass Lowell leading 47-43 over number 23 ranked Ohio State. Man, talk about upsets. UMass Lowell looking to have their second upset here. Absolutely insane what's been going on in college basketball. UMass Lowell winners over San Francisco on Wednesday, and then they lost yesterday against Illinois State, which Ohio State destroyed in their first game. Just so odd. 82-72 against Illinois State yesterday. And UMass Lowell beat San Francisco back on Wednesday. 76-68. Who do I think is going to win the MAC? I'll probably go with Ohio after yesterday. So Ohio, I think, is going to be at the top of the MAC there. That was against Illinois. That was on Friday. Just so impressive. Ohio or Bowling Green, I think, is going to be pretty good this year. Welcome in here, Ronnie. Appreciate it, man, for stopping on by. I was shocked that was only a 10-point win by Duke, but for sure they're going to get better and better throughout the course of the season for Duke. So slow starts aren't like or so as far as the slow starts. It's been quite the usual lately because they've had games last year that were really slow starts. They lost to Stephen F. Austin last year, and they also had a slow start against Brown last year when I watched that game, and they came out in final 5 minutes remaining, just completely went on a tear. But I just need more from Matthew Hurt and Wendell Moore, the two sophomores. Hey, what's good, El? Appreciate it, man, for stopping them by. Right now, we're on a timeout. If you guys are new in the channel, spike that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. I cover play-by-play here, basketball for college basketball games, also NBA games here in Behind the Arc Basketball. And this is game number 1 out of a doubleheader today. We'll be back at around 5:30 Eastern time with a great game, Texas Tech against Houston, later today as well. Hey, Jay Rich, welcome on board, man. Yes, San Francisco isn't a bad team. The WCC's got some teams out there that can go and prove it. And San Francisco, they've been in like the bubble conversation. I think like the last 2 years, like really early on, until like December and January, and then they usually drop off. Who do I have winning the Valley? At the beginning of the season, I had Northern Iowa. I'm shocked that Northern Iowa is 0-3 so far. I'm gonna stick with Northern Iowa right now. Loyola Chicago has got like a loaded team with like seniors there. I'll stick with Northern Iowa though, because the Valley's been crazy. That just comes down to the conference tournament. Like whoever wins the conference tournament goes to the NCAA tournament. So you can be like a 6 or a 7 seed and come out of the Valley, which it's happened before. Like a lot of the crazy conference tournaments, it usually goes down to the Valley, like with a team that sneaks in out of nowhere. Cardinals beating the Patriots 7-zip. Thanks so much for the update there, Ben. I'm a Patriots fan, by the way, from Mass, and yeah, it's just been a rough season watching the Patriots games. 14-13 the scores. We're back to action. Richmond had the basketball. They went inside, and no good on the shot as Kentucky gets it right back. The Wildcats have it top of the key after the timeout. As this Devin Askew, as he is guarded by Gilliard. Askew at the top, moves it over to the left wing into the hands of Boston. Brandon Boston slides over to Terrence Clark. Has it at the left wing, 8 on the shot clock, 10:45 left to go. Terrence Clark moves over to the right wing. Into the hands of Boston, drives inside, and he gets stripped of the ball, and Boston, they're going to say, lost control of it out of bounds, as Richmond will have it back with 10:43 left to go. Hey, what's good, Brian? Appreciate it, man, for stopping on by here. Glad to have you on board. Yeah, whoever you guys are rooting for, hit me up in the chat here. If you're going for Kentucky, type in BBN here. If you guys are going for Kentucky, type in Richmond if you're going for Richmond here. I think majority of people watching here, basically like all Kentucky right now. Who usually wins the Atlantic 10 or so? It's been VCU a lot, like lately, when in the past decade, or Dayton. But for this year, I think it's gonna come down to St. Louis or Richmond. I really like how deep St. Louis's team, though, is for this season. 10:20 left to go. Richmond missed the jumper. Kentucky gets the basketball. Kentucky floats it up underneath, and it's going to be a foul, looks like. So Richmond picks up a foul there. It was a pass that was well wide for Kentucky. Olivier Sarr, too, who is underneath. So Vegas picked Kentucky in this one, 73-64. Of course, my man Jason going out for Big Blue Nation out in this one. Jackson going out for the upset. Corey's going out for BBN for Kentucky here. Good game so far. Lower scoring than usual. Kentucky's defense, that's going to be the story this season for Kentucky, is they'll get the basketball back off the inbound. They held Morehead State in the first game to only 45 points, and Right now, they're holding Richmond shooting from the floors. As a team, Richmond is only shooting 23.5%. Kentucky had the ball, got stolen away by Richmond, though. They're going to take a deep two, top of the free throw circle. That's no good. Rebound, Kentucky. They get back in transition. Here they go on a 2-on-1 underneath pass here. They're going to move it out, and Richmond gets the steal. They had a bucket underneath, and instead they decided to pass it back out with Terrence Clark, who decided to pass that. Richmond going to jack up another deep jumper, no good. Kentucky drives inside, shot gets blocked out of bounds, and the clock will stop with 9:37. As Richmond with a block there, that is Solomon Koriisi, the 6'9" forward who got the swap block. Chris the Kid, appreciate it, man, for stopping on by. No problem that you're late, man. Glad to have you on the channel. Yeah, Villanova got upset last night against Virginia Tech. Welcome on there, King Jacob. Have I heard the Patriot song? I've heard a couple of the Patriot songs. It depends on which one. And the free throw is no good at the line. Kentucky rough on free throws in this one. They are 1 for 5 at the line. Second free throw, and they missed that one as well. It goes out of bounds. You win games by hitting free throw shots. Rhode Island could tell you that. Rhode Island lost to Arizona State and BC because they couldn't hit free throws. They were 60 and 50% in both of those games. And then yesterday against South Florida, complete difference that they completely flipped the tail. Kentucky will get the ball back in the inbound, though. It's tapped out of bounds by Richmond. Wildcats have it, top of the key, bounce pass over to Sarr. Shot fake, goes inside, Sarr underneath, and he had an easy slam dunk, and I don't know what he was doing right there. He was going for a half slam dunk, half layup. It hit the front rim, and it went off. A rebound, Richmond. Spiders have it, they're up by 1 as well. 9:10 left to go first half. That should have been an easy 2 points by Sarr. As they move it inside, lost control of the basketball, gets pickpocketed here by Askew. Kentucky has it right back. Past the half-court logo. Devin Askew, top of the key. Hands it over into the hands of Boston. Boston, dribble drive inside, puts it up, and no good there as Richmond tried to get the rebound, and the ball taps the baseline. It's out of bounds by Richmond off of Koriisi, and Kentucky will have the ball back with 8:51 left to go. Both of these teams just stagnant right now. 14-13, as we have been stuck on this number for quite a bit. Hey, what's good? Salvador Martinez, welcome in, man. He's going out for Kentucky in this one. Who wins the NFC for the least there for the NFC East? I'm gonna go with the Giants right now. I think the Giants have been doing much better than how they started this year. And Darius Slayton, he is a beast. 14-13 to score. Kentucky with an inbound jumper. They take it, turn around right baseline, and they knock it down. That's good by Olivier Sarr. His experience here is going to help them out and guide his team if they want to get the win here against a very experienced Richmond squad here with 4 starting seniors. That is 8 points by Sarr, the leading scorer for Kentucky. Richmond moves over to the left corner, takes the 3, and they sink it from the outside. Andre Gustafson, number 22, hits that one down, and Richmond by 2. 8 minutes left to go in the first half. It's been a struggle here just to hit shots. Kentucky has it. Bounce pass over to Sarr. Leaves it over for Fletcher. Fletcher going to take a deep 2 at the left elbow. No good that time. To hit the back iron and out. Rebound Richmond. Richmond has it with 7:40 left to go. Another 3. They take it. Hit the rim short. No good. Fletcher comes out with the boards. Kentucky just needs to attack inside. That's where they have size, strength, and length. They just got to go inside more. Kentucky has it at the top here. Boston moves over to Askew here at the left wing. As he is guarded by Gilliard. Double-teamed Askew now with the ball. Pass over to the top. Boston drives inside, and Richmond going to call the foul. Clock will stop with 7:22. Alright, looks like we're going to go on another timeout here on this one. Appreciate it all for stopping by. 50 people watching now. If you're new to the stream, spike that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well if you enjoy play-by-play here at basketball and Behind the Arc Basketball. I cover basketball games, college games, and also NBA games as well. Okay, quick scoreboard update right now. I'm interested to know if you guys are big NFL fans. I'll update you guys with the NFL scoreboard as well. So, let's see here. Atlanta Falcons in their game taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Falcons up 6-zip in that one so far. Bills up against the Chargers 7-zip. Giants tied with the Bengals 7-7. Tennessee up against Indianapolis 14-7. In that game, Ryan Tannehill, perfect 6 for 6, 103 passing yards. Derrick Henry rushing touchdown. Vikings over the Panthers 7-zip so far. And Cardinals lead the Patriots 7-0. In that one, Kenyon Drake with a rushing touchdown. Hey, what's good? McNuddis is back here. Welcome back, McNuddis, onto the stream. Right now, we're in a timeout. Quick scoreboard update, everybody. Upset alert trying to go down here. Ohio State leading against UMass Lowell. It is close, though. 53-51, the score in that one. And then South Carolina, once again, another slow start. South Carolina trailing against Tulsa, 24-22. As that's the score in that game right now. And how about this? Upset alert early on. Arkansas Pine Bluff from the SWAC, leading Iowa State currently 21-18. As I'll keep you guys updated with those games today. Rough start for Iowa State up against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Welcome in, Connor. Glad to have you in the channel, man. Hope all is well, brother. Yeah, it's been a struggle just trying to hit shots so far in this game. Ice cold. If yesterday's game I streamed was ice cold, this one is, once again, another ice-cold game. Richmond, 23% from the floor. They're shooting 5 for 21. And Kentucky at 41% so far. And Richmond's made all their opportunities at the free throw line. Perfect 6 for 6. And then Kentucky it's been a struggle here at the line today. Got to hit the free throws. It could come down to free throws in this game. Kentucky's only 1 for 6. I should be a 2K commentator. I am better than all of them, according to Chris the King, it looks like. Hey, thanks so much, Gahenda, for watching my stream, man. Appreciate it here. And have an awesome day, man. And good luck tomorrow. Looks like he's going to have to wake up 5 a.m. there at Rwanda. And it's 8:30 p.m. Enjoy your night, man. Oh, looks like I was in Connor's NBA Draft Reactions matchup. Interesting. Hey, what's good? Morgan Baseball. Welcome to stream, man. Hope all is well. Steven, what's good here? For stopping on by, man. 5 teams to compete for the national championship right now. I would go Baylor, Gonzaga, Illinois, Iowa, and then Wisconsin or Kentucky right now for that number 5 spot. This has been a tight game so far. Wisconsin's experienced. Wisconsin brings back, I think, like an entire starting 5, all seniors. Welcome in here, Bill. Appreciate the man for stopping on by. Hoping that Big Blue Nation can pull this one out today. It's been really cold as far as shooting in this game. Yesterday, I had no clue that Baylor had an electric offense like that. Baylor knocked down 15 3-point shots en route to a 112-82 victory over Louisiana yesterday. And Baylor takes on Washington later today. And Washington upset Baylor a year ago. So that's another game. Keep the eye on. Free throw here at the line. And Kentucky finally hits a free throw. That's their second make at the line. Out of 7 attempts, they hit that one. Second free throw coming up here at the line by Kentucky. Who do I think will win this game? I predicted Kentucky in this one. I predicted Kentucky 72-66 in this game. Second free throw, that's good. Welcome to the channel here. INL Elk Fork, appreciate it, man. I think everybody's Kentucky fan out here. Welcome on board here. TTV blazing here. Illinois is so good. They can rebound. They're like a phenomenal plus 109 on the boards. So far through 3 games is crazy. Richmond just keeps on taking deep jump shots and they're not going down. That one's missed. Rebound Kentucky. Yes, I plan on covering Illinois Baylor on Wednesday. That should be a great game. That could be a lot of points on the board for that game. Illinois scores a ton, and then Baylor just put up 112 yesterday. Is Davison good this year? I don't believe that they're going to be that great this year. I think that they're going to be like mid-pack A10 for Davison. They were supposed to be really good last year, but they lost a couple of their key players. And Davison plays against Texas and Maui Invitational tomorrow. Richmond now with the ball back, 6:30 remaining. Shot gets blocked. going to go out of bounds, and it's off a Richmond player, so big block right there by Isaiah Jackson as the clock stops. Yes, I plan on covering Gonzaga-Baylor on Saturday at 1 as well. That's going to be a phenomenal game, too. So many good games coming up. Gonzaga-West Virginia on Wednesday. I plan on covering games tomorrow, but I might lose power tomorrow because we're supposed to get like 60-mile-per-hour winds here. So I'll keep you guys posted. Make sure to check out the community tab like right before the stream in case I don't like have anything scheduled, because I might lose power tomorrow, which means I wouldn't stream. 6:22 left to go. Kentucky got the inbound, and Richmond going to pick up a quick foul as it's going to send Kentucky to the bonus. And a little bit of foul trouble. Jacob Gilliard, the leading ball stealer all college basketball, he was the one who picked up the foul, and Kentucky will go to the free throw line shooting the 1-on-1 bonus. First free throw, that's up, and that's good. Oh, for sure, Jackson. That's going to be an awesome game. Both of those games. Illinois-Baylor, Baylor-Gonzaga. And then Illinois takes on Duke the week after. So both of those teams, their next game is huge right after that as well. Because Illinois-Baylor on Wednesday. Baylor takes on Gonzaga on Saturday. And then Illinois will take on Duke the following week for their next game. Both free throws go down. Kentucky by 2 right now. 6:15 remaining here first half. Richmond now with the basketball. They have it at the right baseline. Golden passes underneath off the cut there. That's Nathan Kao to the hole for 2 and ties it up at 19. 6 minutes remain first half. Kentucky pass inside. They back their way. Underneath, and that's a foul. Isaiah Jackson going to find himself to shoot 2 more at the free throw line. Nathan Kao, the one who was holding him up, and he picks up a personal. Yeah, David puts out Texas always has a ton of talent, football and basketball. It doesn't translate. They have they retain their entire starting lineup basically for Texas. I think they brought back like 9 or 10 players from last season's team. So they're right now a top 25 team, but when they get into conference play, it's they got themselves their work cut out there in conference play. Free throws at the line, and Kentucky was 1 for 2 that trip. First one to make, second one to miss by Jackson. Gets rebound by Richmond. Hey, what's good, Alex? Appreciate the man for stopping on by. Hope all is well. Richmond now with the basketball. Golden has it the right elbow, moves it over to the right wing perimeter into the hands of Francis. Francis deep to right baseline, and he got it. Blake Francis, difficult shot right there, able to get it. They actually rolled a 3 right there. He was behind the three-point line at the right corner. 5:20 remaining first half in this one. Good game so far. It's been tough getting off shots, though. Kentucky has it at the left elbow into the hands of Sarr. Sarr backs his way, passes, ball gets stolen away. Richmond with 1 man to beat here. Off the dribble, and the ball gets stolen right back by Kentucky. Great defense. Pass up the court here. 2-on-1 Kentucky. Puts it up, and that's good for 2. Off the backboard, as they'll cash it home right there for the Wildcats. Tie game up at 22. 5 minutes left to play in the first half in this one. Richmond inside, no good on the shot. Rebound back to Kentucky. Wildcats have it. Askew moves it over top of the key to Boston. Boston holds it back over to the right wing to Askew. Askew with the ball. As he passes back to the top here to Boston once again. Boston slides it over to Jackson and moves it back over to Boston. 4:35 left to go. Boston step back 3 in the air from the left wing. He is money. Hits that one down. Kentucky extends it a 3 right there. Great triple. Or actually, they're going to say it's a 2. His foot was on the line. But either way, great shot right there to swoosh it to create space. 4:20 left to go. Spiders now with the ball. Free throw circle. Moves it back right wing to the top here. Golden holding it. Golden for the Spiders. Dribbles now inside. Going to put it up. No good the first one. But second one able to get the offensive rebound as he completely just took the other Kentucky defender just right over there. We're tied up at 24. Wow, 2 feet on Monday. It's going to snow. Jeez. We're supposed to be getting like heavy winds tomorrow, like 60-mile-per-hour winds from a storm. Kentucky missed the 3. They get the offensive rebound. They put it at the left baseline, and they took one dribble inside and threw it down with a 2-handed flush as the Wildcats lead it. 3:30 left to go. Richmond now with the ball, as they will take it inside. Now they're attacking the bucket, and that's been a difference here for Richmond, able to get that one to fall up and in. 3:20 remaining. Kentucky now with the basketball right back. Passes over to the top of the key. This game's picked up past couple possessions. Oh, nice shovel pass to the right corner. Kentucky takes the three. Couldn't get it, though. They get a big offensive rebound. Sarr puts it up, and that will be a foul underneath, and that is good as well in a shot. You got fouled in the shot attempt as well, so that goes down off the glass, and he'll go to the free throw line and shoot one coming up by Olivier Sarr. Clock will stop here. 3:10 left to go. And this one is Richmond just could not box out on Sarr there. And we're going to go to a timeout. And one coming up after the break here in this one. And that also going to send Kentucky. They're inside the double bonus now. So we're going to go to a timeout. And we'll be back right after the break with a free throw by Olivier Sarr. Yeah, Big 12 really stacked, man, in competition. I only see there being like three like weak teams this year out of the Big 12. Kansas State, Iowa State, and then TCU. That's it. There's only just 3 weak teams. So right now we're on the timeout here with 3:10 left to go. We take a look now. Leading scores so far in this game. It is Brandon Boston. He's got 12 for Kentucky. Olivier Sarr, he has got 10 so far in this game. Those are the top 2 scores so far. And Olivier Sarr with 2 big offensive rebound putbacks there. That was a huge bucket just a moment ago to go up at the break. And then for Richmond here, it's Nathan Kao leads the scoring with 9 points. Hey, what's good, Timo? Welcome on the channel, man. I don't watch like that much boxing, but yeah, I don't really follow that much. Let's see here. A quick scoreboard update for everybody. Ohio State still in a tight game against UMass Lowell. 59-56 the score with 6:22 remaining in that one. South Carolina tied up with Tulsa at 32. And Arkansas Pine Bluff beating Iowa State 33-27. So Iowa State just struggling in that game right now. Any team with undefeated potential this year, I would go for Gonzaga right now. Gonzaga looks unstoppable. They have a tough non-conference schedule though. They got Baylor, they got West Virginia, they got Iowa. But after that, they also got some tough teams, tougher than usual out of the WCC. That they have San Francisco looking pretty dangerous right now, and BYU. They're back to what they were last year. They can shoot the 3 ball just crazy for BYU. But I would say probably out of anybody, it's Gonzaga. They would just need to get past the games that I think is going to be the closer ones for them. Baylor on Saturday, and also West Virginia as well, and then Iowa. Quick NFL scoreboard update. I'll take a look at that in just a second if I can bring it up. Hey, what's good, Landon? Welcome back, man. Cardinals up against the Patriots, 10-7. The score in that game. Jets and Dolphins tied up at 3. Browns lead the Jaguars 7-6. And Vikings lead the Panthers 7-0. Colts Titans tied up at 14. Bengals Giants tied up at 7. Bills lead the Chargers 7-6. And Falcons at the end of the first quarter there. They're up against the Raiders 6-zip. So we are back after the timeout. Olivier Sarr got fouled. He made the shot inside off the offensive rebound. He's going to go to the free throw line and shoot the and one coming up after the timeout. Yep, Sarr and Boston looking the most impressive so far in this one. And Sarr knocks it down. Extends it a 3 here for Kentucky, approaching the 3-minute mark remaining in the first half. If you guys are new in the channel, spike that thumbs up. Hitting that like helps out this video a ton being found on YouTube. Hit the subscribe and ring that notification bell as well here on Behind the Arc Basketball. 3 minutes left remaining in this one. Richmond now with the ball at the right wing. Into the hands of Kao. passes over to the left wing perimeter for Richmond. Bounce pass now left baseline underneath, puts it up, and that's blocked by Sarr, and Richmond's going to have it right back. They move it out to Gilliard. Gilliard, deep three as he takes it. No good, hit the rim short. Rebound Kentucky. They're able to box out and get some big-time boards. Isaiah Jackson with that one, as the Wildcats have it right back. 2:35 left to go. Kentucky out-rebounding Richmond in this one, 21-14 on the boards. Kentucky had the ball, and they're gonna call a whistle here on the court. It's gonna be on Kentucky that they had with it around the perimeter. So the ball will go back over to Richmond. So Gonzaga's yet to win national championship. They only made it up to the national championship game against UNC, but that's it. They've yet to win one. 2:20 left to go as we're in the first half. Close game indeed so far in this one. The A10 frontrunner taking on what I predicted to win the SEC with Kentucky over Tennessee. I think a lot of people took Tennessee, though, over Kentucky to win the SEC. This game today is experience for Richmond. 4 starting seniors going up against the young rising 5-star freshman class with Brandon Boston and Terrence Clark there, and multiple 4-stars as well. Top recruiting class for Kentucky. So free throws coming up at the line. There was a foul by Richmond, and Kentucky rebounded, and they got fouled. So they're going to go to the double bonus shoot, too. First free throw, Sarr got it. Second shot at the line by Sarr. He missed it. Rebound Richmond. They get back in transition, puts it up, reverse-handed layup. That goes down by the Spiders. That's good for 2 with 2 minutes remaining. Yep, URI against San Francisco at 5:30. Just don't embarrass yourself, Rhode Island. Hopefully they'll be able to get another W against the second USF today, as Kentucky had it around the perimeter, and Terrence Clark gets called with an offensive foul. He pushes off on a Richmond defender, and Richmond will get back the basketball with 2 minutes remaining. Spiders ball as they take it past half court, under 2 minutes left to go. Richmond moves it over to the right wing, into the hands of Gilliard. Gilliard passes over top of the key to Francis. Francis has it, dribbles, takes the jumper to right elbow, hit the front rim. They're settling for too many deep 2 jumpers, goes out of bounds, and Kentucky will have it right back. Richmond has just never been on attack mode at all in this game. Kentucky ball here, approaching 1.5 minutes remaining. Askew passes over to the top of the key. Wildcats have it. As Boston slides it over to the left wing into the hands of Davion Mintz. Bounce pass now to the left elbow. As they will back their way inside the post, Kentucky puts up the shot. No good, rolls around the rim. Big offensive rebound. They put it back outside, and Richmond's going to get the steal there. Richmond has it. Ball got poked at half court, but Richmond able to pick it back up a second time. Spiders with 1:10 left to go. They have it at the right wing perimeter. Gilliard. Now with the ball. Dribble drive inside, and the ball get tapped out of bounds. Looks like it's going to stop the clock with 1:04. It was out of bounds. Initial calls on Kentucky here. Let's take a look. Scoreboard update right now. They might have reversed that call. Yeah, Jacob Gilliard heading towards the left side right there, as the refs were talking about whether that was out of bounds by Gilliard or off the back of Kentucky. And it was out of bounds by Gilliard, so Kentucky will have it right back. Wildcats now with the ball. Sarr takes it inside underneath, puts it up, and before that, a foul. Richmond commits another foul. It's going to send Olivier Sarr to the free throw line, and the clock stops with 53 seconds. Yeah, Ian puts out here, Richmond, a real chance of winning for the A10. Projected to win the A10 before Nick Sherrod's injury went down. I feel like that's had a major impact on how Richmond shot the ball, because Nick Sherrod's a sharp shooter. He led the A10 in 3-point shooting percentage last season, and without them, they are really struggling today from 3-point range. Held a 2 for 11 shooting from the perimeter, and just shooting the ball in general. They're settling for a lot of deep 2s, and they're only shooting 29%. Both of the free throws going down by Sark. The free throw line. Kentucky up by 4 here. Richmond. Now with the basketball as they have it at the right wing perimeter. At the right corner now with it. Hands it over to Gilliard. Going to take a deep 3, and they just keep on jacking up 3-point shots from way outside, and they're not even close. Rebound Kentucky. That's going to be a problem when you take on a bigger type of team like St. Louis that can rebound for Richmond. Richmond got destroyed last year against St. Louis, and I like St. Louis now to take the A10. Kentucky drove to the cup, no good off the top of the glass. Rebound Richmond with 18 seconds. Spiders basketball. Gilliard going to slow it down for the final possession here. They hold the basketball at the left wing. Richmond now dribbles top of the key into the hands of Blake Francis. Looking for the final shot here. 3 seconds remaining. Francis bounce pass inside, and that goes behind his teammate out of bounds. Not a quality possession at all. Bad miscue right there on the pass for the Spiders. Kentucky will have it back with 1.2 seconds left. Kentucky inbounds. Half-court pass, half-court shot. It's up, and it's an air ball. We go into halftime. So both of these teams cold from the floor here, and Kentucky just wrecking Richmond on the boards in that first half in this game, and going to the free throw line as a late. Kentucky just really struggled at the free throw line early on, but able to turn it up quite late here, as they've made 10 free throws so far in this game. As they've only shot the ball 59% at the free throw line, but much better than how they started. They were 1 for 6 to start out in this one, so just a grind so far in this one, just trying to get it through. Hey, what's good, Kesar? Welcome onto the channel, man. Yep, he told me to pay attention to Jalen Johnson. He lives up. He had a huge debut yesterday. Yeah, Big 12 has 5 really good teams. Oklahoma, Oklahoma State. Yeah, I agree. They're going to be pretty good this year. I only see like 3 teams that's going to be like really weak out of the Big 12 this year. Really weak out of the Big 12. Kansas State at the very bottom. Then Iowa State and TCU. Speaking of Iowa State right now, I'm going to take a look and see how that game is going on. As we'll go to a scoreboard update here. Welcome back, Bradley, once again, man. Welcome in, Ty. Appreciate it, brother, for stopping on by. Right now, we're just at halftime in this one. Stream number 1 out of 2 I'll be doing today. Texas Tech against Houston later today at 5:30. Who do I think is going to win? Packers, Bears? I'll take the Packers tonight in that one. Let's see our scoreboard update. Iowa State trailing against Arkansas Pine Bluff at halftime, 37-34. That is embarrassing. That Iowa State's losing to Arkansas Pine Bluff out of the SWAC. Ouch. South Carolina up against Tulsa, 34-33 at halftime. And Ohio State in a tight one with 2 minutes left to play against UMass Lowell, 65-63. So we'll keep you updated with that game right now. But Ohio State having a lot of problems against UMass Lowell. And UMass Lowell already beat San Francisco. And now they have a chance to win against a ranked top 25 opponent. Ouch. I had projected that Ohio State would be a top 25 team, but after I put that one out, I was kind of like questioning myself. I was like thinking about like Ohio State. They're gonna have like if they reach that potential, they'll be a back half top 25 team. But if nothing comes together, which is like a bunch of transfers, then they could have a disastrous season. They haven't even gotten Set Towns healthy, and man, it's just right now in a tight one there for Ohio State. They might be weaker than I think for this season because a lot of those players are transfers, and yeah, they just haven't got Set Towns healthy so far. Yeah, they're just this game. There's just not enough going inside so far. Like nobody's attacking the bucket. They need to start attacking the bucket because the deep jump shots just aren't going down. More for Richmond here. It's just the deep jump shots just aren't even close for Richmond. Who's the best player in the Fighting Illini? That would be Ayo Dosunmu. He's gonna be a first rounder. He's a star there. Great decision for Dosunmu to withdraw from the NBA draft and come back, because he has the chance to improve his draft stock a ton. He has the chance to go up against Luka Garza, really give him a run for his money this year for National Player of the Year candidate. I think it's going to be Dosunmu or Garza. Let's see here. In case you're wondering about the NFL, we'll take a look at that right now. As far as the scoreboard update, everybody. Really, thank you guys for coming on board, being a part here on the stream. If you're new here on the channel, make sure to spike that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well, as I cover play-by-play here of basketball. Patriots taking on the Cardinals right now, 10-7. Cardinals lead that one. And that score, Dolphins up against the Jets, 10-3 so far. Low-scoring game in that one. I actually had the Dolphins defense in fantasy this week against the Jets. And Vikings pitching a shootout right now, 7-0 over the Panthers. Pretty good points fest here. Colts against Titans, as Indianapolis, Tennessee tied up at 14. Bengals, Giants tied up at 7. And Bills lead the Chargers 14-6. And then 6-3 Falcons up against the Raiders. Yeah, Ant puts out Kentucky, great group of guys, just haven't built that chemistry. And I hear you, man, definitely. They're going to be dangerous. Kentucky and Duke, once they build up that chemistry, so dangerous. A lot of these teams, especially the ones with transfers too, as well, they could be dangerous. Because Rhode Island's in that same boat, because they had like five transfers, so, like, not play together until the opening night. Yeah, it took quite some time for them to click last year for Kentucky. They had a couple losses that they should have won last year. They had that late game against Utah. That game I think tipped off at like 10:30 or 11 at night or so, and that was in Utah's time range. And Utah won that game. And then the game against Evansville too. But as far as the rankings next week, if Virginia Tech's in the rankings, which I expect them to be, I expect Virginia Tech to be in the rankings for a very short time. Who do I think's the three best freshmen? I would go Cade Cunningham, Jalen Suggs, and then B.J. Boston for top 3 freshmen. Jalen Suggs has been the most impressive so far by how he's played. Yeah, Ty puts out, he feels like Houston's been consistently good these last few years. They've been great because their head coach has been awesome. Kelvin Sampson's done a great job turning around the program. That's going to be a great matchup today, Houston against Texas Tech. Houston's known for their defense. They can go out, they can defend the perimeter. They haven't been a great shooting team so far this season. They've had like one player carry them so far through the games or so. It was Quentin Grimes in the last one. He used to play for Kansas before he transferred. And then it was Marcus Sasser in the first game that carried Houston. And Texas Tech's pretty much balanced. I think Texas Tech is like dangerous for their team. They've got good balance. They have players that can score. They have players that can rebound. And just all-around balance there for Texas Tech. That should be a great matchup. And scoreboard update here. Ohio State starting to pull away as they're going to take the W for this one, it looks like. Ohio State leads at 74-64 with 12 seconds left to go against UMass Lowell. So Ohio State going on a scoring spree towards the end as they'll retain their top 25 ranking. Looks like in a close one, though, for UMass Lowell. And sadly for UMass Lowell is that they're going to have to get all the way to the America East tournament and then win it all in order to make it to March Madness. That's the sad thing, is that that's only a one-bid conference, and it usually goes to Vermont. And Vermont has yet to play a game, and Vermont's not going to play their first game until December 18th, I don't think, because they come out of quarantine. They set themselves in like a month-long quarantine for Vermont before they actually had a game. They decided to do like no athletics till December 18th. Larry puts out all files in the wall must wear a mask now. Who they got, Gonzaga or Baylor in that game? I'm leaning towards Gonzaga right now in that one, because Baylor. I was shocked by Baylor that they gave up 82 points yesterday. So I was shocked by that. I'd probably go Mobley in the top 5. So I just have him missing the top 3. So yeah, right now we're just at halftime here between these two teams, and Tennessee just scored again in the NFL. They're up against the Colts 21-14. If Baylor once again allows like a good amount of points today against Washington, then there's concerns about their defense, and then Gonzaga should be able to put up like an 100 spot on them, because Louisiana yesterday put up 82 on Baylor. Yeah, I agree, David. They're really deep. The Mac McClung transfer, that he was ruled eligible. That's huge for Texas Tech, because he's the leading scorer so far for Texas Tech through 2 games. He has looked really good. Alright, so quick scoreboard update for everybody right now is that Ohio State has won. So they won against UMass Lowell 74-64. That was a close game. It was tied up at halftime, and they were going back and forth in the second half until Ohio State broke out like last 2 minutes or so. South Carolina leading Tulsa 34-33 at halftime. If you're South Carolina, you don't want to go down 0-2 to start off the series. That wrecks their tournament resume right away. And it's definitely going to wreck out Iowa State's tournament resume if they can't come from behind and beat Arkansas Pine Bluff, as Arkansas Pine Bluff leads 37-34 here in the second half. Do I think Jalen Johnson should run point guard Goldwire off the bench? Heard they're looking at that. I think maybe they should try that out or so, because Goldwire just hasn't really been effective during his time at Duke. I think probably they started him early on more so for the experience or so. Yeah, but yeah, Gonzaga, they got one of the toughest non-conference schedules for this year. And all college basketball, Gonzaga coming up. They got on Wednesday West Virginia. They got Baylor on Saturday, and then they got Iowa on December 19th. It's crazy. So they stack up their non-conference schedule, and then some of the teams in the WCC have been like sleeper type of teams that have shocked teams already. San Francisco beat Virginia, and Gonzaga has 2 games against San Francisco, 2 games against BYU that can shoot the ball like no other. BYU, in order to make the tournament, though, they're going to have to steal at least 1 game from Gonzaga and just play really well and have like no bad losses on their resume. Ty is calling it here. Virginia Tech winning the ACC. He is calling it. Um, so Virginia Tech definitely deserves to be ranked come Monday in the top 25. But I wouldn't be shocked if Virginia Tech stays for like a week or two and that is it. Because that's a young team. I just think that Villanova, they start out just really slowly. Like 2 years ago, Villanova lost to Furman, and they got destroyed by Michigan. And then Villanova gets better and better throughout the course of the season. And last year, Michigan State lost around a year ago to Virginia Tech. And then Michigan State looked like absolutely lethal. At the end of the season, Michigan State looked like they could possibly win the NCAA tournament. They had a ton of momentum last year, heading into the Big Ten tournament. So I think Virginia Tech, it's more like an upset victory for them. But I think when they come into conference play, I think they're going to struggle quite a bit. Hey, what's good? Vaughn is back here. Just talking to Sam from Sportscaster. Cool, man. Hope all is well with him. Keep on coming back to a couple more streams, Chris the Kid. Really appreciate that. That you want a blue wrench, man. Just come back to a couple more, man. And then I'll hit you up. You've been here since the playoffs. Random comments, welcome in once again, man. I plan on covering that one. Kentucky, Kansas. We're supposed to get a bad storm tomorrow, so I might lose power. So I might not be able to stream tomorrow. I do plan on streaming. Probably one game tomorrow if I do have power, but I might not. And I plan on covering the two Champions Classic games on Tuesday, hopefully pending if the power outage doesn't last for an extra day. Sometimes we lose power here for like 2-3 days because I live out in the I live out in the country where there's like a ton of trees over here, and whenever we get like 60-mile-per-hour winds, which is tomorrow, we get like fallen trees all over the place out in like the woods, and it takes a couple of days to get back power sometimes. Cinderella, Cinderella for 2020-21 theme song right there. So we're going to start off second half in this one. So we do so, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to spike that thumbs up. Hit that like button, helps out a ton with this video being found on YouTube. Hit the subscribe and ring that notification bell as well as we get right back into it in this one. Kentucky going left to right in the court. Richmond going right to left as Kentucky will have the basketball first to start off second half. They're looking to attack the basket here second half, and they do underneath, but Olivier Sarr couldn't get it down off the turnaround jumper. Nakeem missed it. Rebound Richmond. Spiders first possession now as they shot the ball really low. 28.6 from the floor. 10 for 35 in the first half. Trying to get something going here for the Spiders. They pass over to Golden. Back outside to the right wing over to Gilliard. Moves over to the top of the key. Back over to Golden. Hands it over to Francis. Takes the three straight away. Off the mark. No good. Rebound Kentucky. And if they're going to take 3-point shots like that and keep on missing like they're 2 for 13 right now today, it's going to be a long second half for Richmond. Kentucky pro hop inside, just using that size to their advantages. That is good for 2 by the Wildcats. Terrence Clark right there, able to hit that one inside the key off the pro hop. Kentucky by 6. 18:50 left to go second half. Richmond goes inside, and they're able to get that one to fall. Off the backdoor cut, Jacob Gilliard for 2. That's what Richmond has to do to make this game close in this one. Is that they gotta keep on going inside. They can't be forcing up jumpers because once Kentucky makes those adjustments, this game's gonna get harder and harder for Richmond to make this a closer type of game. Kentucky had the ball, and looks like Richmond's gonna pick up reach in here. Clock will stop. 18:38 left to go. First personal. Picked up by, I think, Jacob Gilliard there. That should be his third. First free throw. Kentucky knocks it down. Or actually, there's Grant Golden, the one who picked up the fall. So Grant Golden picks up his third, and their big man. That's problems for Richmond, is that their big man right now, Grant Golden, sits on the bench. 36-30. So this is a golden opportunity moment here for Kentucky to try to take the advantage here. As Richmond's big man Grant Golden currently sits on the bench with 3 fouls. Richmond able to break the double team trap. Moves over right corner here. Spiders drive inside, floats one up, and able to get the circus shot. That's good for 2 right there by Tyler Burton off the right baseline floater. 4-point game. Kentucky had it. Ball gets stolen away by Richmond. Oh, wow. What a pass. Richmond lays it up and in off points right there off of turnovers. That was exactly like that the Jimmy Butler steal against the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals there, just laying out for the basketball right down the side of the court. That was exactly like it. Kentucky takes a 3, no good off the mark, rebound Richmond. Drives to the bucket once again, and they're going to call that one goaltend. They're going to award a bucket for Richmond. That was insane. Behind the back pass by Jacob Gilliard off the steal. Leading his man in transition. That was insane. They just showed the replay. That was incredible. 36 even. This is anybody's game right now. 17:40 left to go. Kentucky has it at the top. Moves over to the left wing over to Clark. Dribbles now at the top of the key. Guarded by Burton. Pass over to the left corner. Ball deflected out of bounds by the Spiders. Clock will stop 17:35. Kentucky now with an inbound. As they get Golden right back into the game, their big man, as he comes off the bench. Kentucky goes inside with 17.5 left to go. We have another foul picked up here. It's going to be by Jacob Gilliard, so he picks up his 3rd. It's going to result in 2 free throws coming up by Kentucky here. Boston will go to the free throw line. First shot, no good, rattled out. Second free throw, Brandon Boston, no good. Same thing, rattled out. Fight for the rebound. Richmond has it underneath. Anybody's game right now. We're tied up at 36 with 17:20 left to go. Spiders now with the basketball. Golden has it at the top of the key. Hands it over for Gilliard. Takes the 3. No good off the mark. He had a good look, but missed it, though. Too strong. A rebound back to Kentucky. Richmond, a perfect 6 for 6 at the free throw line in this game. Kentucky really struggling. 12 for 21 in this one. They were heating up late in the first half. They started out 1 for 6. They hit a lot late in the first half, but recently, once again, just like how they start off the first half. Kentucky, no good on a layup off the back rim. Great defense by Richmond as the ball gets tapped out of bounds by the Spiders, and Kentucky will have it right back with 16:51. Yep, 2020 has been insanely nuts for sure, man. And Jason would be okay with it if Kentucky lost this game. Richmond would be ranked this week if they beat Kentucky, which St. Louis fans would be all in an uproar about, because St. Louis just knocked off LSU just yesterday, and St. Louis has looked so impressive. They did it without their best player in the team, as he was out of that game. 36-36 the score, 16:40 left to go, as Kentucky got called there for the double dribble in the post. It's going to go right back over to Richmond. That is a 12th turnover for Kentucky in this game. Richmond's actually done a great job taking care of the basketball, only 5 turnovers. They'll take a 3. That one's up, and they got it. One of the very rare 3s today. That's only the 3rd triple out of 15 3-point attempts, as Richmond captures the lead here by 3. Kentucky now with the ball. Askew at the right wing perimeter as he holds the basketball. Pass over to the right elbow. Sarr goes inside underneath and passed it off. Ball deflected from behind by Golden, out of bounds for Richmond, and Kentucky will have it right back. Yep, second game of the year, a bunch of 18-year-olds, and we'll see so much progress with this group of players this season. We will see just how incredible they make progress this year for Kentucky. They have it left baseline, dribbles inside, rolls around, and they gutted a fall. That is good for 2. They make the shot underneath. They're going to go to the free throw line and see if they can tie it up at 39 apiece coming up there. Fall by Burton for Richmond as the clock will stop. Great move there to the bucket for Kentucky. Great move. Terrence Clark, the one able to get the bucket and send that one up and through. Yeah, I agree, David. Coach Cal will have Kentucky clicking in no time. This team here that they're taking on Richmond, this is a really experienced group here. Like, one of the most experienced teams in all college basketball for Richmond. They got 4 seniors in the starting 5. They could have had 5 here if Nick Sherrod hadn't been injured in the preseason. Yeah, Vaughn puts out he doesn't know if the Steelers-Ravens game going to be played on Tuesday because he has Big Ben, the starting quarterback. Oh, no. I have James Conner, and he tested positive, so he's out of that game. And then the Ravens just have a rash of positive players, and they got Des Bryant's going to be starting for wide receiver for that game now. They signed him from the practice squad up to the 53-man roster now for Baltimore because they just have so many players that's going to be out. Lamar Jackson's going to be out. And the Denver Broncos quarterback situation, that they're going to have a wide receiver play at quarterback today because they have 0 QBs because Jeff Driscoll was wearing no mask around the facility and infected all the quarterbacks for the Broncos. And yeah, Saints are 16.5-point favorites in that one today against Denver. That might be the most ugliest beatdown ever. Broncos lucky that the Saints don't even have Drew Brees for that game. Broncos gonna get crushed with Taysom Hill under center. Man. Scoreboard update for the NFL now. Dolphins up against the Jets 13-3. Cardinals lead the Patriots 10-7. And Browns up against the Jaguars 17-13 the score in that one. Vikings Panthers tied up at 7. Tennessee leads the Colts 21-14. Bengals Giants tied up at 10. And then Bills lead the Chargers 14-6. Falcons up against the Raiders 6-3. Yeah, I agree there, Ty. He's got a great future for sure for Drew Lock. As far as college basketball today, South Carolina leading Tulsa now 49-43. Iowa State slow start in the first half against Arkansas Pine Bluff. They made their adjustments, and now Iowa State leads by 11, 55-44. Georgia leads Florida A&M 16-10. And then Ohio State beat UMass Lowell 74-64. That game was closer than the score suggests right there. That was basically the first 35 minutes back and forth basketball. As Ohio State in the last more or so like 3, 4, 5 minutes they took control of that game and they won it. So yeah, I plan on being back later today for Houston against Texas Tech. That should be a good game, so feel free to stop on board for that one as well. Number 17 Houston, number 14 Texas Tech going down around 5:30 Eastern time. So we have 15:56 left to go here. Back from a timeout. Richmond leads by 1, but Kentucky will go to the free throw line as Terrence Clark was fouled as he made the shot underneath, dribbling left baseline. He has a chance to tie it up here at 39 apiece here with the and one coming up. He does. Knocks it down. So back from a timeout, we're tied up at 39. Terrence Clark, he has 9 points so far, leading scorer for Kentucky. Olivier Sarr with 14. Brandon Boston, he's got 12. Richmond now with the basketball. Top of the key. Puts it now into the hands of Gilliard. Pass over to the left wing to Francis here. Francis now with the ball, left baseline. He has it around the perimeter. Francis, step back 3 from the left corner. It's up, no good off the back rim. Rebound Kentucky. And Richmond just stone cold from the outside. They're 3 for 17. Kentucky moves over to the left wing. Askew. Pass back out on top here to Clark. Clark now with the ball. 15-15 left to go. 15 on the shot clock as well. Moves over to Sarr. Sarr has it at the free throw circle. Passes back out to the left corner. Askew moves over to Sarr. Left baseline jumper. Takes it. No good off the back rim. They get the offensive rebound underneath. Puts it up. No good. Rejected by the front rim. Second chance, though. Able to put that one back up and in. That's good for 2 there by Brandon Boston. Good bucket right there. Did not give up on the possession. And able to grind that one out off of 2 offensive rebounds. And Boston here tied with Sarr for the leading score for the Wildcats today with 14. Richmond now with the possession. 14:44 left to go. Driving inside. Richmond puts it up and in. That's going to be good for 2. They count the bucket and going to go to the free throw line and shoot the and 1. Nathan Ko able to drive past Isaiah Jackson. They call Jackson with a foul. Saints 66-0. I remember there was a Sunday night football game, I think, in like the late 2000s, and it was the Saints against the Colts, and the Saints just destroyed the Colts in that game. I don't remember I don't remember the first name of the player, but I remember the quarterback's last name for the Colts was Farmer, and that was when Peyton Manning was injured. And they just had that awful season, and then they signed Andrew Luck the next year in the draft, I think. Free throw is good at the line by Richmond. 42-41 the score. Kentucky had the ball, took it up the court, and they're going to call Kentucky here. They're going to call Kentucky there with a turnover, as Richmond will have it right back. Kentucky only has 1 team foul so far. Richmond has 3. So only one personal in the second half. As far as a team here, they have seven fouls picked up in the entire game, but 1 in the second half. Richmond inside, missed it, no good. A rebound back to Kentucky. Kentucky pushes up the court here. Inside, going to put it up, and that's going to be a charge as Devin Askew drove right inside into the paint there. Richmond set themselves in position, took the charge underneath, and that's going to be the second personal of the second half for Kentucky as number 3 for Richmond, Tyler Burton, the one who took the charge on Askew. 14 minutes left to go in this game. Hey, welcome back, Roger here. Glad to have you back once again, man. So we got 14 minutes remaining. Richmond now with the basketball in a 1-point game. Spiders have it with Golden. Dribbles right baseline underneath over Sarr. Floats it up and able to get the bounce right there for 2 into the net. This is a grinded out type of game here. Very well could come down to a final possession. Underneath Sarr, puts it up, too strong. Almost missed the rebound, able to get it back though. And Sarr's going to put it up second time, no good. Able to get some help there, tip in. That's good for 2 by the Wildcats. Isaiah Jackson able to help out right there and get the tip in. Kentucky's just wrecking them on the boards right now. 44-43. Rebounds plus 13 in favor of the Wildcats, 32-19. 13-15 left to go. Richmond bounce past the Golden, right baseline. As he backs his way on Sarr. Golden turnaround jumper on Sarr. Puts it up, no good, too strong off the back rim. Rebound back to Kentucky. Askew moves it back to the top. Pass over to the left wing perimeter. Clark now with the basketball. Dribbles inside, floats it up off the right foot, no good. And Sarr tried to come up with a board, couldn't get it though. Richmond has it right back. Spiders with it with 12:50 left to go. They leave it over at the right corner. Pushes back to the right wing. Moves over to the left corner. Perimeter shot fake. Clears space. Takes the 3. It's up. No good. Hit the rim short. Another missed 3 by Richmond, but they get the offensive rebound out of it. Spiders going to take another 3. That's up, and that is way, way wide. Didn't even hit the rim. Air ball. Rebound Kentucky there off the missed 3 by Tyler Burton. Kentucky going to slow it down. Wildcats with 3 timeouts left to go. 3 in the pocket remaining for Richmond as well. 12:20 left to go. Trying to get something going on for Kentucky. Missed the layup with the right hand as that was no good. Boston couldn't finish. Rebound Richmond. Spiders have it. Yeah, interesting nickname that Richmond has. You never usually hear about teams being nicknamed the Spiders. Bounce pass right behind the defense. Nobody with backdoor help there for Kentucky as Cameron Fletcher forgot to guard right there. Number 22, Andre Gustafsson, able to get past the defense, and he put it up for an easy bucket. Hey, what's good, Steven? Welcome to the channel, man. Hope all is well. Kentucky drives inside, missed the layup. And there's also a foul call here. Late whistle on the court. Clock will stop with 11:42. And it's on Burton out of Richmond here. Richmond's going to pick up their 4th personal of the second half. If you guys are new to the channel, spike that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well here Behind the Arc Basketball. Man, it's a uncharacteristic type of game today. As far as execution, this has been rough to watch. The last game that I covered, South Florida URI, that was rough to watch besides how URI just was in complete control in the second half. They're finally playing team basketball and sharing the ball. This has just been rough here. 14 by Sar, 14 by Boston. A lot of missed opportunities, though. Yeah, I agree, Roger. Especially that first half. That first half was just, oh man, it was god-awful yesterday in that game. I think execution's going to be so much better. Texas Tech against Houston later today. I think that's going to be a great game. Two backcourts going up after it. As we welcome in Corey back onto the stream here. And Seton Hall against Louisville back on Friday. That game was more like a grinded out type of game too. Execution wasn't as great either in that one. That was just a tight game though, but better than this right now as far as these two teams. If Richmond had Nick Sherrod here, Richmond would most likely be up by double digits in this one because they just don't have that sharp shooter. That's what the Spiders are missing on this team here. So right now we're on a timeout. Iowa State up against Arkansas Pine Bluff, 60-50 to score. Georgia leads Florida A&M 17-12. South Carolina Tulsa tied up at 49. Big game for South Carolina if you want to get on the right side of the tournament bubble and you don't want to go 0-2 and have losses there to Liberty and Tulsa, two teams below your conference. And right now, South Carolina not looking good. There's been a couple power conference teams that just hasn't shown up so far this year. Georgia Tech's one of them. It's had a lot of high expectations, and Georgia Tech 1 week from now takes on Kentucky. Hey, what's good? I don't know anymore. Welcome in, man, for stopping on by. Let's take a look here. NFL scoreboard halftime. Cardinals up against the Patriots 10-7. Dolphins lead against the Jets 13-3. Browns up against the Jags at halftime 17-13. All these games at the half besides Tennessee, Indianapolis. Tennessee 4 touchdowns. They lead at 28-14. And Derrick Henry has 3 rushing touchdowns, a $140 on the ground in the first half. They're still in the second quarter with 1:21 remaining. Giants, Bengals tied up at 10. Bills up against the Chargers 17-6. Falcons lead the Raiders 13-3. Yep, sports just ain't the same without screaming crazy students. Steven thinks the Saints will win. Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, that's going to be a massacre. 0 quarterbacks for Denver. They're going to be starting a wide receiver under quarterback, and get ready for that one today. I'm going to love to see the highlights of that after it gets posted. Oh, man. (46-43) the score. Yeah, I think the season will get complete, but we're gonna run into like a ton of scheduling problems. Like we already had a bunch like earlier this week. Like there was a ton of teams drop out. As far as this week's going on, there hasn't been many teams to like withdraw from events, but it was crazy like earlier this week or so with teams withdrawing. 46-44. I heard that the Big East is thinking about doing a conference bubble inside possibly Mohegan Sun starting in 2021. So I know that's what the Big East plans to do. Not sure what the other conferences are thinking about doing. 11:30 remaining. Kentucky hit the free throw at the line. It's a 2-point game. Richmond now with the basketball as they back their way inside the post. Underneath, Richmond puts it up and able to get it fall right there up and in for 2. For the Spiders, they lead by 4. This game's on ESPN. Yeah, Rutgers is 2-0 so far. Rutgers had, it was one of their players. They put up, I think it was 31 in their second game there for Rutgers the other day. So Rutgers doing well so far in the top 25. 11 minutes left to go. They're going to say a turnover here by Kentucky. I'm going to see the final call here. Blake Francis a little slow to get up, but he's okay. He walks on the court. Yeah, they say turnover Kentucky. 11 minutes remaining. Richmond basketball, as that is Kentucky's 15th turnover today. Spiders with it. Really uncharacteristic today. Left wing perimeter. Gustafsson pass inside. They move it back outside. They're going to take a deep three, and they unleash it. They gut it. Way out there from the right wing, and Spiders knock down that one. 10.5 remaining, or 10:37 left to go, and Coach Cal going to take a timeout here. Kentucky down to 2 timeouts. Blake Francis hit a big triple right there from the perimeter. And Richmond here, their leading scorer today, Nathan Kao, he's got 14. Blake Francis right behind him with 13. Yeah, Tennessee is right now doing great against Indianapolis in that game for the NFL right now. Man, I just was not expecting this type of game today. The execution's just been so off. Yeah, 15 turnovers, then also the free throws. Kentucky could be winning this game if they hit their free throw shots. They're 14 for 24 at the line. Kentucky is a plus 16 on the boards. So, if you look at rebounds, Kentucky should just be torching Richmond, but no, too many turnovers, can't convert on the free throws, and then they've had multiple miscues on layups inside, and they're lucky they've got second chance points in this game. Quite a bit of offensive rebounds with second chance points in this one off of putbacks. Hey, what's good, Jackson? Welcome back in here for stopping on by. So yeah, if Richmond wins this game, they're going to be ranked in the top 25. If Richmond loses this game, then I expect Virginia Tech's definitely going to be ranked in the top 25. UCLA drops out, so there's one team that will drop out. And then the other team that should most likely drop out would be Arizona State, since Villanova lost yesterday. Doesn't help out Arizona State's resume. And if Richmond wins that game, if Richmond does control this game and win it, they'd be in the top 25 and replace Arizona State. If Richmond does lose this game, if Kentucky is able to bounce back here, win this game, then I expect San Diego State to go into the top 25, then St. Louis at 26, because St. Louis beat LSU. If you guys are new to the channel, spike that thumbs up, hit that like, helps out a ton with this video being found on YouTube. Hit that subscribe as well, as I cover play-by-play basketball here on Behind the Arc Basketball. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Really appreciate it all for stopping on by. Probably into the 20s there, Jackson, for Virginia. So I'll still go for Virginia to be in the top 25 because they only lost by 1 point, but they'll probably go back to around the 20 zone or so. Roger won in Madden there, 50-0 against the CPU. What's good, Alex? Welcome to the stream, man. Somebody tweeted Iowa going to be ranked at number 3 coming out of this week. Right now, it looks that way. They should be moving up there. Virginia, Villanova, right in front of them, and Iowa will go up to number 3, possibly number 2. Alex, if Baylor falls tonight against Washington, then Iowa will be at number 2 if Baylor gets upset again against Washington like they did last year. Alright, so 10:37 left remaining in this one, 51-44 to score. Louisville has a chance to get in the top 25. Coit puts out. They could before the season's over. I just need to see more of Louisville. They barely held on to Seton Hall. That's more of 2 teams ranked around like 35 or so, around that department. But St. Louis has looked really impressive so far. Also, teams out there receiving votes. Providence has a huge week this week. They can really boost up their resume, and they could be top 25 next week for Providence. I don't see them being ranked top 25 on Monday because they only played 1 game, but Providence or Indiana, both of those teams have a chance to improve their resume and be top 25 in not this coming rankings, but the next one, because both of those teams face each other. So if they can make some noise, knock off Texas or North Carolina in the Maui Invitational, then things could go down there with possibly Indiana or Providence cracking the top 25. So we're back into it after a timeout. Kentucky now with the basketball as Richmond missed the corner 3. Kentucky has it at the right elbow, backs his way in there. Terrence Clark, mid-range jumper, rolls around the rim, able to get the friendly bounce. That's good for 2. 51-46. Tua looking good right now, it looks like. But he's not playing. Yeah, he's not playing in that game. 9.5 remaining, 5-point game. Richmond pass inside underneath and going to put it up, and that's good for 2 by Nathan Ko. Yeah, Iowa would want Washington to beat Baylor, so Iowa can move up to number 2 this week. Kentucky now with the basketball, top of the key into the hands of Sarr here at the free throw circle. Took the jumper, missed it, no good, and a huge rebound by Richmond underneath as they traveled with it as well. They were on the floor with the basketball, and they traveled with the ball for Richmond. So Kentucky gets lucky there. They're going to get the ball back on the inbound coming up, a 7-point game. Quick scoreboard update. South Carolina leading Tulsa 55-51. That's must win for South Carolina if they want to improve their NCAA tournament resume as an at-large team this year. Iowa State up against Arkansas Pine Bluff 70-54 after the slow start. And guess what? Georgia losing against Florida A&M 24-23. Kentucky with the ball off the inbound. They don't even pass it. They shoot a 3-point shot and it's no good off the mark. Rebound Richmond. Spiders have it at the right elbow. Moves over to the left wing. Catch and shoot 3. Blake Francis. No good that time. Rebound Sarr. Kentucky has it right back. Both of these teams lacking a sharp shooter. Kentucky's yet to hit a 3 today in this game. They're 0 for 6 from the perimeter. And without Nick Sherrod for the season, Richmond is 4 for 20 shooting from the outside. They would be up by 10 plus right now if they had Nick Sherrod in this game, if he hadn't been hurt in the preseason. 35-14 Tennessee at halftime. That's insane. Wow. Dude, Derrick Henry with an absolute feast in that one. 8:45 remaining, Kentucky basketball as they have it at the top of the key. Clark moves it over at the left wing perimeter. Boston has it. Boston passes now over to Sarr. Gets poked loose here as that one gets stolen. Laid up and in with a right hand. That is the leading ball stealer last season in all college basketball. Jacob Gilliard, scrappy defender, cashes it home for 2. And the Spiders, that is what they do best. Points off of turnovers like they did that time. 8:20 remaining. Kentucky down by their largest deficit, trailing by 9 and miscue. Terrible pass, goes out of bounds here, and Kentucky is just falling apart right now. 8:14 left to go. There was nobody even in the area. Wow. Richmond will have the basketball right back. Just over 8 minutes left to go as the Spiders have it. If you guys are new in the channel, spike that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that sub, ring that notification bell as well here. If you guys enjoy my play-by-play live streams on Behind the Arc Basketball. We'll be back later today for hopefully a better executed game with Texas Tech against Houston. And a great backcourt matchup. That's a 3 by the big man, and it got the bounce. Richmond with a triple by Grant Golden hit the front rim and sailed back into the net for the 3-point shot. 12-point Spiders lead with 7:40 left to go. Kentucky in trouble right now as they're going to go entry pass into the lane over to Sarr, and the clock will stop with 7:37. Man. Timeout on the floor right now, and wow. Of course, I expect Kentucky to keep on getting better and better and better each and every single game this season for them. And they had these problems last year. They lost to Evansville really early on in their schedule. They played a really close game against Utah Valley last year. And yes, Virginia Tech's a definite getting ranked in the top 25, and then Richmond now. If Richmond's able to hold on to this and pull this one off, Richmond will be able to get there. Sweat Zyro, welcome on board here, is liking Richmond in this one. Jomo, welcome on the channel here. Yeah, I heard about that, Alex. Matt Patricia getting fired yesterday. And GM Bob Quinn, and so many articles, rumors, Lions might have the chance to sign Chiefs offensive coordinator there, Eric Bieniemy, if they're able to get him. Well, that would be a huge pickup for sure if they're able to sign Eric Bieniemy there for the next head coach. Bryson, welcome back on board here. Thinking a big comeback in store for Kentucky. They're going to need to have that in store for them in the final 7:37. If Kentucky does come back, Richmond would not be in the top 25. I don't see them, and that would mean that San Diego State most likely would be there. With them beating UCLA this week, San Diego State deserves to be in the top 25. Unless crazy stuff happens later today with Washington against Baylor. If Washington wins that game, they'd be 1-0. If that does happen there. But yeah, Virginia Tech definitely ranked for Virginia Tech this week. Hey, no problem, Roger. Thanks so much, man, for stopping by. I appreciate it for being a part here. Yeah, Kentucky has the #1 recruiting class this year, but this is a young team that they're bringing in. So, of course, they're going to get better and better throughout the season is over for Kentucky. And this team they're taking on right now, Richmond, they have experience. They're going up against 4 seniors for Richmond. It's just the execution here has just been bad for Kentucky today. Really bad. 18 total turnovers. Struggling, huge struggles at the free throw line. 14 for 24. There's a lot of execution problems for Kentucky, and they just don't have that sharp shooter in their roster that they're going to have to find this season. For the Spiders, they don't either. They lost Nick Sherrod in the preseason, and they're 5 for 22 from 3. And I still think that St. Louis is the much better team in the A-10. I think that St. Louis could very well be a team that could be like a San Diego State or like a Dayton from last year. I think St. Louis is that deep, and they're going to be that type of team this season. They got so many weapons on the Billikens. They can rebound, and they struggled last year shooting at the free throw line. But in their last game against LSU, they were really impressive. Yep, Jacob Gilliard with 3 steals today for the NCAA ball stealer from last season in all college basketball. We have 7:37 left to go. Kentucky in trouble right now after the timeout, 12-point game. Wildcats have it into the hands of Askew at the top of the key. Askew gets handed off the basketball here as he is guarded. Bounce past the left corner perimeter. And we're going to have a foul. Looks like clock will stop with 7:20. Yeah, VCU has actually been shocking. They lost a ton of pieces in the offseason, and VCU's been shocking this year. URI was great in their last game. They're the best 1 and 2 team in all college basketball. They just gotta find a 3-point shooter. That's the thing. So Kentucky here at the free throw line, shooting 2. First one's up, first one's good. Second shot, they make that one. And this is the good free throw shooting Kentucky that we just saw on the last trip to the line there. They made both of them. 10-point game with 7:15 left to go. Richmond basketball. Also, Richmond picked up their 7th, so Kentucky was in the bonus. 4 personals in the second half here by Kentucky. Richmond has it. Top of the key. Francis now with the ball. Going to take a deep 2. No good. Rolled around the rim and out. Rebound Sarr. Wildcats now with the basketball. Olivier Sarr with a double-double. He's got 17 points. Also 11 rebounds. Kentucky has it with Askew at the left wing. Passes over to the top here to Sarr. Sarr moves it over to the right wing into the hands of Boston here. Brandon Boston right behind Sarr with 14 points today. Boston dribbles now at the left double, takes the jumper. That one's up, no good. 2 strong. Offensive rebound. Pass the left corner, wide open 3, takes it. Kentucky, they miss it again. Offensive rebound, puts it up. Turnaround jumper, rattled out, no good. And Richmond, after all of that, fights for a defensive rebound, and they get one. Wide open, they push to the left corner, takes the 3 in transition. No good off the mark by Gilliard. Rebound back to Kentucky. 6:20 left to play here. Wildcats have it. They move it back outside into the hands of Boston. Pass back in his way in there. Entry pass into Lena Sarr. Floats it over to the left baseline. Now they're back to the free throw circle into the hands of Boston. Drives into the key. No good. Tipped around, and Richmond just swarming defensively with another rebound. But there's a foul underneath this time. It's going to be called by the Spiders. So it's going to be on Richmond by Tyler Burton, number 3. And Kentucky going to go and shoot in the bonus here. Looks like at the free throw line. Or no, his foot actually was out of bounds, actually. So it looked like maybe a foul there off the rebound. But no, his foot was out of bounds with Barton, who got the rebound. So Kentucky instead going to get the inbound coming up. 6:07 remaining. Alex here, he wants Robert Saleh as GM, and he wants Eric Bieniemy as the new head coach. Inbound coming up for Kentucky. Just over 6 minutes left to go. And they'll have the basketball once again in their front court. Top of the key. Moves it over to Fletcher. Pro hop, and he puts it up inside the key, and that is good for 2. And he also got fouled inside there. So Cameron Fletcher, or Isaiah Jackson. Isaiah Jackson, the one who got the shot. Number 23, he's going to go to the free throw line and shoot 1. So and 1 coming up for Jackson. Jackson now with 6. He's going to see if he can make it 7. And no, he can't. Rattled out. Rebound Richmond. Spiders now with a basketball with 5:55 left to go. 8-point game. They'll slow down tempo. Dribbles past the half-court logo. Nathan Ko has it. As they will drive inside now. Ko missed it, and there's a foul underneath. Kentucky gets called with a foul. Clock will stop with 5:46. I think it's going to be close to like the final seconds in here. Yeah, Jason thinks that Richmond's probably going to make a deep run in March. I'm more for St. Louis in that. I think that St. Louis is going to be the big bracket buster this year. Richmond is the team that can force turnovers. They're scrappy. As Kentucky gets the defensive rebound, Richmond went 0 for 2 that trip at the free throw line. They missed both of them with KO. Rebound Kentucky, so that helps out the Wildcats here. 5.5 left to go. Kentucky has it top of the key. Ball into the hands of Mintz. Passes over to the left baseline. Wildcats have it. Terrence Clark with the ball at the left wing as he is guarded by Burton. Clark inside the post, pass over wide open right corner 3. They're going to take it. No good. They missed another one. They've yet to hit a 3 today. They're 0 for 9. Rebound Richmond drives inside, and they're fast. They're good in transition right there as they lay it up and in for 2 by Jacob Gilliard. 60-50 to score. Approaching 5 left to go. Wildcats basketball. They got to attack the post here for Kentucky. Pass over left baseline underneath, and going to put it up. It gets blocked from behind. They do get the basketball right back. Pass underneath. No good. Ball still on the ground. Scrum for the basketball right underneath the hoop here. As this is going to be a tie-up here. Let's see who possession is going to get this one. Whose possession error will it be? On the ground, Kentucky landed on it. We have 4:52 left to go. I believe it's going to be Kentucky ball coming up. We'll sort this one out. We still awaiting the possession arrow. Who do I see coming out of the WCC? Obviously, Gonzaga's number 1. Number 2, I predict, though, BYU. And then number 3, either Pepperdine or San Francisco. Pepperdine took UCLA in a triple overtime. But UCLA has not been as great as I thought they had been. UCLA's upperclassmen, too. It's going to be Richmond ball they actually move it to. So Spiders have it. They got a 10-point lead. Richmond, right baseline dribble behind the back pass. The big man takes it, and he's got the 3. What a 3-point shot right there for the Spiders. They knock it down. Number 15 from the outside. Matt Grace, a 6'9" forward, who has barely played any minutes today, just comes off the bench, receives the pass behind the back of his teammate, and he gets left wide open around the perimeter, knocks down the triple. Timeout taken on the court. As we have 4.5 minutes left to go. Wow. I did not expect this at all here. 50 spot on the board with Kentucky with just over 4 minutes remaining. Nick Banham headed to the Clippers, Alex puts out off a tweet 5 minutes ago. Once they clear waivers, puts out. Wow. Scoreboard update right now as far as other college games looks like this. Iowa State in control now against Arkansas Pine Bluff 80-63. Florida A&M, by the way, winning against Georgia. 37-12 to score in that one. Maryland up against Mount St. Mary's, 41-32. And South Carolina pulling away against Tulsa, South Carolina needed to win that game. They lost to Liberty a couple of days ago. South Carolina leading with 3:40 left to go, 62-51. Wow. So I wouldn't say they have no chance in March. They have a lot of 18-year-olds in the roster here. This is more of a teaching moment. Yeah, so I agree with that, David. That this team started out, they had, once again, another slow start, just like last year, where they lost to Utah, and they also lost to Evansville. So another slow start here. If you're a Kentucky fan, that game against Kansas is coming up. But also there's another game not to be overlooked in the schedule that they really need to win, and that game's against Georgia Tech. And Georgia Tech has been abysmal this season. They lost to Mercer. Georgia Tech's just been horrendous. When they have like an upperclassman lineup there, Georgia Tech, and they've just been horrendous so far through 2 games. Yep, I remember that Florida A&M beat Iowa State last year. So right now we're on the timeout, 4:25 left to go, and Richmond by 13 in this one, in a shocking game. I'll be back, by the way, a great game hopefully in store later today, 5:30 Eastern time. Texas Tech, number 14 ranked, taking on number 17 ranked Houston. Should be a good one. So feel free to stop on by for that one. If you guys are new in the channel, spike that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ring that notification bell as well. So if Richmond hangs on, they're going to be ranked in the top 25, and so will Virginia Tech as well, with that win over Villanova yesterday. 63-50, quick scoreboard update of the NFL before we get back after the timeout. Patriots-Cardinals tied up at 10 with 7:45 left to go in the third quarter. Dolphins up against the Jets 13-3, and the Jaguars, the 1-9 Jaguars, leading the Cleveland Browns right now 19-17. Panthers up against the Vikings, 21-10. Dalvin Cook's only got 37 rushing yards, by the way, in that one, whereas Derrick Henry, $140 on the ground. Tennessee over Indianapolis, 35-14. And they just started a third quarter there. Giants, Bengals, 13-10 Giants. Bills up against the Chargers, 17-6. Falcons lead the Raiders, 16-3 in that one. We are back into action here. Kentucky with the basketball, trailing by 13 with 4:15 remaining. As Kentucky had, it looks like a quick foul picked up here by Richmond, as the clock will start with 4:14. So Kentucky now shooting at the free throw line coming up. Inside the bonus currently for the Wildcats, 1-1. Richmond just picked up their 9th. First free throw, that one's up, that one's good. Who do I think wins, Duke or Michigan State? As second free throw goes down, that one's good. I'm going to take Michigan State in that one right now, because I was just not impressed by how Duke played against Coppin State in their first game. I was shocked that was only a 10-point victory. So I would take Michigan State now. Michigan State's played tougher competition. They're a pretty deep team for Michigan State. Kentucky made both of the free throws. Richmond inside missed the shot too high off the backboard. A rebound Kentucky. 3:50 left to go. What's good, Chris S? Appreciate the man for stopping them by here. They have it at the right wing with Askew. Pass over to the top of the key here. Sarr with the ball. Hands it over. They need some urgency on offense here for Kentucky. Terrence Clark dribbles now at the free throw circle. Pass gets deflected, and they're going to call this one a whistle here, and that's going to be another foul picked up by Richmond, and Kentucky will now be in a double bonus. So 2 free throws coming up here at the line. First free throw, no good, rattled out. Terrence Clark missed it. Kentucky really struggling with the free throws today. They are 18 for 30 at the line. ZJ to Don, welcome on board here. Ryan, welcome on here on the channel. Second free throw, hit the rim short, no good. Missed another one. They get the offensive rebound, going to put it up. And BJ Boston gets fouled. off the offensive rebound. So Boston now will go to the line, shoot 2. 3.5 left remaining. No, I am not watching the New England Revolution game today. No. Three and a half remaining. This game ain't over yet. Kentucky gonna shoot 2 coming up. Double bonus at the free throw line. I still think Villanova will win against Texas. Yes, I still think Villanova will beat Texas. I think Virginia Tech just will have that random game that they'll surprise people at. They'll be ranked in the top 25 for a week or so, and then they'll be out. Both of the free throws go down at the line by Kentucky. It's a 9-point game. 3:30 left to go. 9-point game. 3.5 remaining. Richmond basketball. Spiders have it, as they will dribble this one right past the perimeter with Gilliard. Pass over to the right wing with Burton. Moves over to the left wing, back over to Gilliard. Left baseline dribble. Drives inside. Dish out to the right corner. Richmond has it here. They are trapped in the corner. Able to get around it, though. Richmond now with the ball. Passes back to the top of the key to their big man. Entry pass into lane. Puts it up. And that's going to be a goaltend. Slips behind the defense underneath. Off the pass by Grant Golden. They're going to award Richmond the 2 points as Kentucky goaltends. 65-54. Gonzaga. Gonzaga, most dangerous team this season, so I agree with Ryan there. They just got so many elite scores for Gonzaga. They can so athletic, and they can run the court in a hurry. If you can't get back in transition, well, there's no point of even playing against Gonzaga. Kentucky goes to the cup, missed the first one, able to get the putback. That's good for 2. 9-point game with 2:40 left to go. Richmond now with the ball as they will go inside. Contact here, and there's a foul, as the clock will stop with 2:37 left to go. It was number 4, Nathan Ko, who was dribbling the distance right there. And that is an offensive foul by Ko. So he picks up the foul. It's going to be Kentucky basketball. Kentucky has it right back. That is the 8th turnover of the game by Richmond today right there, off the offensive foul that Ko committed. So Kentucky has it. They need some urgency. 2.5 left to go, and they don't. Stolen away by the NCAA ball stealer. His 4th steal of the game by Jacob Gilliard here at Richmond. Spiders have the ball off the steal right back. 2:15 left to go, and he is slowing down the basketball as well. Gilliard with it, as he is guarded by Boston at the top of the key. Bounce pass to the right elbow. Into the hands of Corisi. He dribbles now with it. Over to Francis. Drives inside. Splits defenders, and he floats it up, and he gets it. Blake Francis for 2 right there. And Richmond by 11 in the final minute 50 left to go. Blake Francis today, as he has gotten this game 13 points. Kentucky, deep 2, takes it. That hits the front rim, no good to get the offensive rebound right back. Fight for the ball, and Richmond gets another steal. The Spiders came to play in this game today with 1:30 left to go. That is another steal off of them. Number 9 in this game for a steal today, as Richmond goes inside underneath right there off the pass, and Nathan Ko throws it down right there with a dunk. Also got fouled as well, and should be shooting 1 coming up at the line here, as this is going to be Richmond's game. So welcome to the top 25 if Richmond can pull this one out in the final minute 26. Wow, I'm shocked about this one. Yeah, a lot of teams sleeping on Richmond at the very back, Michigan at the very back of the top 25. Kentucky had a rebound, and they had it stolen away from them from behind. Steal number 10 for Richmond. Spiders now with a minute 10 left to go here. Up now by 13 in this one. They're just slowing down the basketball right now. Getting ready to be ranked on Monday. Richmond has it around the perimeter. Final minute. Thank you guys so much for stopping by the way. If you're new on the channel, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that sub, exclamation point in the books there for Richmond. Sinks down the triple, and the upsets continue this season in college basketball. Without their star three-point shooter, Nick Sherrod, he was injured for the season. Richmond still has 4 seniors inside their starting 5. And they're going to close this one out in the final 42 seconds, looks like. Kentucky able to get the layup. That's good. 14-point lead. Richmond with the ball in the backcourt, and Kentucky picks up the foul. Clock will stop. So Kentucky going to now go to the free throw line in the bonus. Yeah, 10-10. I'm shocked that the Patriots are tied up with the Cardinals there. So Bill Belichick with his defense putting together something special there against Arizona's big chunk play offense. I'm going to watch a little bit of that game after this one's over. And then I'll get ready. Texas Tech, Houston. Texas Tech versus Houston. I'll be streaming that game later today, so feel free to stop by for that one. 1-1 bonus coming up here at the free throw line by Richmond. But welcome to the channel here, everybody who is new here. Ryan, appreciate it for stopping by the first time, man. I cover play-by-play games, college basketball games, also NBA games here as well. So feel free to hit that thumbs up before you sign off here. Hitting the like button helps out a ton. Hit the subscribe as well. And ring that notification bell if you'd like to be notified about future live streams. First free throw, Richmond. Knocks it down. Second one there, perfect. 74-58, 16-point game, final 35 seconds. Kentucky just jacks up a 3, hit the rim short. They've yet to convert on one today, and they get the offensive rebound, puts it back up and in underneath the hoop. Kentucky out-rebounded Richmond today, plus 22 on the boards, 52-30 right now, as Kentucky will take a timeout, but it didn't matter at all in this game when you couldn't hit a three-point shot at all. They were 0 for 8 from the perimeter. Richmond hit 7 triples. It wasn't pretty. 7 for 25 from the outside, but they were able to make a comeback that Richmond outscored Kentucky so far in the second half, 46-28. And the big thing here, points off of turnovers. Richmond steals led to buckets and transitions with nobody behind the guards. And they got 10 steals as a team here. And Jacob Gilliard, most dangerous ball stealer in college basketball, racks up 5 steals against a team full of 5 stars and 4 stars here with a #1 recruiting class for Kentucky. Yep, make sure to come back Saturday, December 26th, the day after Christmas, noontime. Louisville against Kentucky. Make sure to come back for that stream here. It's going to be a great stream. We had an incredible stream last year for that, for sure. That'll for sure be a great game. Quick scoreboard update here for college basketball, as it looks like this. South Carolina winners against Tulsa today, 69-58. Iowa State up against Arkansas Pine Bluff, 80-63. And Georgia only leads by 1 against Florida A&M, 38-36. Maryland up against Mount St. Mary's, 41-32. So after the timeout, final 29 seconds left to go before Richmond puts this one in the W column. And hello, Richmond, as we'll welcome them into the top 25 come Monday afternoon. Them, along with Virginia Tech, should be there. Richmond double-teamed, and they give the ball away. Stolen by Kentucky. Kentucky going to put it up and in for 2. 74-62, 23 seconds left to go, and a timeout taken here once again on the court. So Richmond just gave that one away off the double team. This is not my last stream today. I'll be back at 5:30 Eastern, Texas Tech Houston. So I'll be back for Texas Tech Houston later today. That should be a great game. So feel free to stop on board for that one if you guys would like. Points off of turnovers, though. It's been a huge reason why Richmond's been able to control the second half here. But yeah, this isn't anything new to Kentucky. They had that loss against Evansville last year. People thought they were done after that one. They had the loss against Utah last season and like a late night game. And this is just one game here. One game does not determine your schedule. For mid-majors, it does, and for Richmond, it helps out their tournament resume, as Richmond gets the inbound, and the clock will start with 21.5 here on the clock. But huge quality victory here for Richmond today. They shot the ball only 43%, able to get it because Kentucky just couldn't hit anything here in the second half. Yep, Kentucky got hot at the end of last year, and yeah, that goes the same as other teams I saw last year. Providence was one of them, for example. They had just terrible losses against Long Beach State last year, College of Charleston, and then Providence at the end of last year rode a 6-game winning streak, and I would have loved to see what happened in March, because the point guard, LaJuan Pipkins, didn't know the offense because he was a grad 74-64 to score. He didn't know the offense at first because he was a grad transfer, but as soon as conference play began, he finally was able to pick up the offense, and he was on a roll. Absolute tear throughout the month of February. Patriots just scored a touchdown with 3.5 remaining. I plan on covering Michigan State and Duke on Tuesday. We're supposed to be getting a bad storm tomorrow, so I might lose power. Tomorrow, if I do have power, I plan on covering UNLV and North Carolina at 7. I wish Providence and Indiana would have been the 7 o'clock game. That's a huge game for PC tomorrow. And a lot of people are picking Indiana. I think Providence is going to be more dangerous than what people expect this season. They are deep. Both of the free throws go down. They just got to get production out of David Duke and not have him foul. And that's going to be the key. Final 12 seconds. Kentucky gets the inbound coming up. They dribble right baseline. Moves over to the left corner. Takes the 3. It's up. No good. And they have never hit a 3 today. Rough game for Kentucky in this one. Shot the ball at 36% from the floor. It goes final in this game. 76-64 to score. Of course, this is only the second game for Kentucky, so I expect that they're going to keep on improving and improving and improving. This is more of a learning lesson for them in this one. And they took on a really experienced Richmond Spiders team. One of the most experienced teams in all college basketball here. 4 seniors in the starting 5 for Richmond. And Richmond, hello to the top 25. They should be ranked come Monday afternoon. 76-64 to final. In this one, I am shocked by how Kentucky played here. Laid an absolute egg and just was a complete no-show in this game today. So I'll be back later on. Should be a much better game execution-wise. Houston versus Texas Tech later today at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Feel free to stop on by for that one. Thank you guys so much for being a part here in Behind the Arc Basketball. Make sure before I sign out, hit that thumbs up. Hitting that like helps out a ton. Hit the subscribe and ring that notification bell as well. And feel free to join me back later today. Texas Tech against Houston, everyone. As this is Behind the Arc Basketball. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everybody.